Urgent Dallas Cowboys fans, do not miss this. What just happened? You won't believe this one. But before we reveal the big news, make sure to subscribe to the channel because here we bring you daily videos with the latest Dallas Cowboys updates. And to not miss anything, activate the notifications. Hey Cowboys Nation! Today we have some absolutely shocking news that has sent ripples through the NFL community and more specifically through the heart of Dallas. If you're a die-hard fan of the Cowboys, you've probably already heard some whispers or maybe even seen the headlines, but trust me, what's happening right now is more than just a headline. It's a game changer. We're talking about the recent decision by the Dallas Cowboys to release linebacker Damon Clark, a move that has left many fans, analysts, and even some players scratching their heads. How did we get here? What does this mean for the Cowboys' defense? And most importantly, what are the implications for the rest of the season? The Cowboys, a team that's known for their resilience and strategic moves, have always been a squad that balances star power with tactical depth. But this decision to release Damon Clark has caught everyone off guard. Clark, a player drafted in a recent NFL draft, had been building momentum and showing promise as a key contributor to the linebacking core. His tackles, his instinctive reads, his impact plays, these were some of the reasons many considered him a vital piece for the future of Dallas's defensive efforts. So, why would a team that's been so focused on building a strong, versatile defense suddenly cut ties with such a promising young player? Now, let's rewind a bit. To understand the weight of this move, we need to look at Clark's journey with the Cowboys. Drafted in a recent round, he was viewed as a potential steal, someone with high upside, especially given his impressive college career. Coming out of LSU, Clark was known for his instincts, sideline-to-sideline speed, and his ability to make plays in coverage as well as in run support. His rookie season was marked by flashes of brilliance, and he seemed poised to develop into a foundational piece of Dallas's defense. In 2023, his performance continued to impress many, with solid tackles per game, some impactful sacks, and plays that often shifted the momentum in critical moments. Yet despite this, the Cowboys' management decided to part ways. What does this say about the current state of the team? First, it's important to note that NFL teams are constantly adjusting their rosters, balancing cap space, positional depth, and strategic needs. Sometimes a promising player is cut not because of lack of talent, but because of scheme fit, injury concerns, or to make room for a different type of player that fits a specific game plan. This is a normal part of NFL roster management, but it's rarely easy or without controversy. In Clark's case, the decision appears to be driven by a combination of factors. There have been reports suggesting that injury issues may have played a role, or perhaps the coaching staff is looking for a different profile at linebacker, maybe someone with more experience or a different skill set. Alternatively, salary cap considerations might have also influenced this move, freeing up space to pursue other free agents or to re-sign existing players. Whatever the rationale, the bottom line is that the Cowboys have decided to go in a different direction, and this has a ripple effect on the entire team. The immediate question that comes to mind is, who will fill Clark's spot on the depth chart? The Cowboys have a talented roster, but losing a young, promising linebacker leaves a noticeable gap. The team might look internally, promoting a backup or a younger player from the practice squad, or they might explore the free agent market for someone with NFL experience who can step in quickly. This decision will also influence the defensive scheme moving forward. Will Dallas stick with their current base defense, or will they tweak their scheme to accommodate a different linebacker profile? These are questions that the coaching staff will have to answer in the coming weeks. From a strategic perspective, this move could signal several things. It might indicate that the coaching staff is prioritizing experience over youth, or perhaps they believe they have enough depth at linebacker already. It could also suggest that the team is trying to send a message about competition and accountability within the roster. Sometimes, a move like this is a wake-up call to other players, emphasizing that no one's spot is guaranteed, even if they're young and showing promise. As we analyze the broader implications, it's essential to consider the current season's context. The Cowboys are aiming for a deep playoff run, and every roster move must be evaluated through that lens. Losing a player like Clark could potentially weaken the depth at linebacker, a position that's crucial in today's NFL, where versatile linebackers are required to cover tight ends, rush the passer, and stop the run. If Dallas's front seven was already facing challenges, this decision might add an extra layer of complexity. Looking at the team's recent performances, Dallas has been a tough team to beat at times, especially with a strong defense led by players like Micah Parsons, one of the league's premier pass rushers. But injuries and roster adjustments have tested their resilience. Clark's absence might put additional pressure on Parsons, and the other linebackers to step up and fill the void. The coaching staff will need to deploy innovative schemes or lean on other players to ensure that the defense remains stout. Let's also talk about the impact on the team's chemistry. Every time a young, promising player is released, it sparks conversations about team culture and development. Clark was seen as a player who was working hard, learning, and growing within the system. His departure might send a message that the team is focused on immediate results or specific tactical needs, which could either motivate others or cause some unrest, depending on how players perceive the decision. Fans are, of course, divided on this move. Some are upset, feeling that the team is giving up on a young player too soon, especially one with so much potential. Others trust the judgment of the coaching staff and believe that this is a strategic move aimed at optimizing the roster for the postseason. The media has also been buzzing, with analysts weighing in on whether Dallas made a mistake or if this will ultimately prove to be a masterstroke. Now, let's put this decision into the context of the current NFL landscape. The league is increasingly competitive, with every team trying to fine-tune their rosters for the playoff push. The Cowboys, always contenders, are no exception. They have a talented quarterback, Dak Prescott, who has been consistent this season, and a solid offensive line that provides protection. But defense remains the cornerstone of their identity, and any change on that side of the ball warrants scrutiny. In comparing Dallas's situation to other teams, we see a common trend: roster churn. Every team makes tough decisions to trim the fat, cut underperformers, or reallocate cap space. But what makes Dallas's case unique is the young age of Clark and his potential for growth. Could this be a sign that the team is prioritizing immediate results over long-term development? Or perhaps they see a different player or scheme as more suited to their playoff aspirations? Looking ahead, what does this mean for the rest of the season? Well, it's clear that the Cowboys will need to adapt quickly. The upcoming games will be critical, especially against divisional rivals and playoff contenders. Their ability to integrate new players into the linebacker position and maintain defensive cohesion will be tested. The coaching staff's adjustments and the players' resilience will be on full display. Furthermore, this move could have ripple effects on the locker room. Leadership, chemistry, and morale are delicate elements that can be affected by such decisions. Will veterans like Micah Parsons step up even more? Will younger players like Damon Clark find motivation to keep pushing in practice and games? The next few weeks will be telling of how well Dallas manages this transition. From a statistical standpoint, Clark's numbers this season have been promising. He averaged around 4 tackles per game, with a few tackles for loss and some sacks that showcased his pass-rushing ability. His PFF grade was steadily improving, indicating that coaches saw value in his development. His coverage stats were also noteworthy, with a lower opponent passer rating when targeted, suggesting he was becoming a reliable presence in pass defense. But beyond individual stats, it's about team dynamics. The linebacker core is one of the most fluid and demanding units on a defense, requiring communication, instinct, and adaptability. Losing a player like Clark, who was still developing but showed flashes of brilliance, raises questions about how the Cowboys' defensive scheme will evolve. Will they lean more on Micah Parsons to rush the passer and set the edge? Will they deploy more nickel or dime packages to compensate for the loss? These tactical shifts will be crucial. Let's also consider the historical context. Dallas has a storied history of making bold roster moves, sometimes controversial, sometimes inspired. From the days of Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith to recent drafts, the Cowboys have always been a team that isn't afraid to shake things up when they believe it's necessary. This move in that tradition could be a calculated risk aimed at addressing specific needs or signaling a new direction. In terms of the league's overall competitive landscape, the Cowboys are currently jockeying for playoff positioning in the NFC. Their record is solid, but tight races and tiebreakers mean that every decision, every game counts. Losing a young, promising linebacker might seem like a setback, but if the team can replace him effectively and continue their winning ways, this move could be justified. Conversely, if the defense struggles to keep up, critics will point to this decision as a misstep. Looking at their upcoming schedule, Dallas faces some tough opponents: divisional rivals, playoff-caliber teams, and games on the road that test their resilience. The next few weeks will be a litmus test for how well the team adapts without Clark. Will the defense hold firm? Can other players step up and fill the leadership void? These are the questions that fans and analysts are pondering. Now, what about the future? This decision could be a catalyst for the team's evolution. Perhaps the coaching staff is eyeing a different type of linebacker, more experienced, more versatile, or better suited to a specific game plan. Or maybe they see this as an opportunity to give more playing time to younger players on the roster. Whatever the case, it's clear that Dallas is making a statement. They're willing to make tough choices to stay competitive. And let's not forget the fans' reactions. Social media has been ablaze with opinions, some supportive, praising the management for making hard but necessary decisions, others disappointed, worried about the future of the young talent they believed in. This division of opinion is natural. In a franchise as passionate as the Cowboys, every move is scrutinized, analyzed, and debated. The key now is how the team responds on the field. Will they rally in the face of adversity? Will this move galvanize their defense? Only time will tell. As we look ahead, it's important to remember that the NFL is a league of surprises. Injuries, trades, coaching changes, everything is on the table. The Cowboys, with their rich history and resilient fan base, have always been a team that can bounce back from setbacks. But the real test lies in how they handle this current shakeup. Will they find a diamond in the rough? Will they execute a smart trade? Or will this decision come back to haunt them in a crucial late-season game? In conclusion, the release of Damon Clark by the Dallas Cowboys is more than just a roster move. It's a statement. It reflects the team's ongoing pursuit of excellence, their willingness to adapt, and their focus on maximizing their chances of success in a fiercely competitive NFL landscape. As fans, we have to stay tuned, keep supporting our team, and trust that the coaching staff has a plan. Because if history has shown us anything, it's that the Cowboys never stay down for long. They always find a way to rise, adapt, and chase that elusive Super Bowl trophy. So what do you think, Cowboys Nation? Are you surprised by this move? Do you believe it will pay off? Or are you worried about what this means for the team's depth and future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your perspective. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'll be here to break down every twist and turn of the Cowboys season. We're in this together, and I promise there's much more to come. Stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, go Cowboys.